What is up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. I want to talk a little bit about the whole Chevy metal thing that happened with Sebastian Bach having a mental breakdown basically in Vegas. If you guys haven't seen the video, I'll play it right here.
Bitch, get her the fuck out of here! She comes up while I'm talking to my wife saying, "Hey, can Sebastian give me a hug? I'm not a fucking monkey. Get your fucking ugly ass the fuck out of here!"
I bumped into this story while I was working on Ripper News, and this one kind of shocked me because I didn't hear anybody talk about it. Ends up being I just not keeping up to my subscriptions over here on fucking YouTube, right? So eventually I found other people talking about it and everything, and it's really, you know, it's kind of sad to see that's how he acted. And people were asking, like, you know, because he's over here calling the fan ugly. Well, if she would have been hot, would you have hugged her? You know, people were like questioning that too. And people were questioning, you know, if the wife hadn't have been there, would he have hugged her or whatever, right? Or would it have been that bad? In general, just to give the fan a hug. So I have like a little perspective on this. Again, it's just my perspective. Doesn't mean I'm correct or anything. I wasn't there. None of us were there. But I do know they did interview, somebody did interview the girl. I'll leave the podcast down below but somebody did interview from the fans' perspective on what happened, right? Sebastian said, you know, he said that she went to the back, asked the wife if she could hug Sebastian, which I thought was really nice, because how many times both men and women are like, fuck the rock star wife, get her out of the way, I want to meet the rock star. So I thought that was actually kind of nice that you asked and everything, the wife, for permission and stuff, because that is uncomfortable when random women are just hugging your fucking man, or a random man hugging your fucking woman. It's just fucking weird, you know? It's fucking weird. It's uncomfortable. It's like, who the fuck are you? Why didn't you, you know? I do feel like you need to introduce yourself to their partner. You know what I mean? I really do feel that. So I thought that was nice, but then she said, like, I guess the wife rolled her eyes at her or something, and then that's when Sebastian got mad. And then I guess he got mad again when the way from what I picked up, I guess he got mad even more when he saw her, you know, in the crowd and everything. That's when he went off on security, you know, to tell her to get the fuck out of here. And now, I'm just gonna only say, like, my experience from seeing Sebastian Bach. I didn't meet him, I just saw him, right? I'll eventually will add the clip in, but like a couple days after my birthday, I went to the Rainbow Bar and Grill with my two friends, Sylvia and Brenda. So I went over there and I was in the center, and then I, you know, sitting in the booth, and then I do remember there was a commotion going on in the corner, which is the bigger booths. Normal. That shit is normal. Nothing, you know, to even look at or anything, right? Sylvia was on my right, and she was like, look over there, look onto your left. And then I do, and Sebastian Bach is very recognizable. Very, especially his height. He's very tall, okay? The stringy hair, everything, right? So I see the back of him, and I'm like, I think that's Sebastian Bach. And she's like, that's what I was thinking, Sylvia goes, right? And then we see him, he gets up with his entourage, his wife is there. I recognize the wife because I do follow him on Instagram. His kid was there, and he sees us and he kind of glares. I'm not gonna lie, he glares at us, but I didn't take it personally, because I've given that glare before when I want people to not talk to me and to stay away from me. But I was like, because the whole time I was just like, he's with his wife and kid. Yes, he has an entourage, but he's with his wife and kid. And that's where I think people just forget and they don't care. You know, I don't know how the wife is in real life. She could be mean for all I know. She could be nice for all I know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she had a bad day at that concert, and Sebastian was like, I have to make her happy. Because in case you guys don't know, almost a year ago, I don't think she left them, but they did have some issues. And Sebastian Bach, oh my God, he made sure the whole world, the whole internet knew that. I remember that. So he was going off of how he's a very jealous person and everything, and he hates it when his wife hangs out with other people that's not him. And then he pointed out to like friends and stuff like that. So I don't know what day she was having at that Chevy metal concert. Like, maybe he felt like he had to show himself like, yeah, I care about my woman, you know, I'm not gonna let fans interrupt us right now. I don't know. For all I know, he could have been flirting with another woman and then she probably got mad. I mean, these rock stars relationships are not easy from every, you know, interview I've seen what they've done with the wives or anything, or even what the men have admitted, you know. So I'm like, I don't know what she was going through and I don't know what he was going through, but I feel more for her than him, you know, because at the end of the day, he could have been like, you know what, not right now, sorry, I'm with my wife, you know, I you know, or at least been like, here, look, I'm not gonna give you a hug, you know, respect for my wife, I'll give you, you know, a handshake or something, you know, like a handshake, pat on the back, you know, something, a side hugs are great, you know, those are, you know, I prefer that, you know. It's just like anything, you know, he didn't have to be like, fuck off, you know, and stuff like that, you know. It was just embarrassing how he handled it. And I get it, he's probably dealt with some dumb shit from fans in the past too, you know, because fans could become entitled. I know, I seen them do it to celebrities over there at the Rainbow. It's embarrassing how they'll chase after a celebrity. So I know when I saw him at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, when he gave us that glare, I didn't take it personally because, first of all, I've done that glare so many times. It's almost like, stay right there. Just stay right there. And my friend Sylvia, who was newly single, was a horny little bitch who wanted to go over there. And I was like, absolutely not.
So we just literally saw Sebastian Bach, and I'm too shy to do anything about it.
Oh my fucking god, bitch. Should we run after him? I'm like, you know, like, he literally makes love to me with his voice when I listen to him sing, okay? Like, what the?
Hilarious.
I can't. Oh my god.
He's with his wife, though. It's like, no.
Yes, I'm in my bed. I forgot to add a couple things. People on TikTok did say that, you know, even if I would have gone up to him, he would have been cool with this. So apparently he's not like that bad. But again, it's like I think he just wanted his privacy. That's what I felt like, at least. And also it's like, it would have been me and my, you know, it's just 3 women running up to him and, you know, his wife right there. It just seems inappropriate. So I don't know, that's just my perspective. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure someone, and I understand somebody's gonna be like, well, no, Sebastian was always an asshole. Probably so. I mean, I do remember seeing him. I have a lot of meltdowns, especially in reality TV. But at the same time, you got to remember, it's like reality TV. I think they know that about him, and they just like, hey, let's just start this situation. I'll never forget like how when they were making the band Fist and like how he kept saying, we're not the Backstreet Boys, fuck the Backstreet Boys. And then somebody was like, yeah, the Backstreet Boys are still together. So I thought that shit was funny. I forgot who said that. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. You know, that was my perspective from when I met him at the Rainbow. And I wasn't going to talk about that story just yet because I wanted to gather more stuff about the Rainbow so I could have another second series of stories to tell you guys. And like, I wanted to show you like what I like to order and my favorite drinks and stuff like that. And maybe have a better time, you know, like, you know, maybe actually vlog the place while I'm there and everything. But I just always forget to do it, sorry. But like, yeah, so I was gonna like wait and tell you guys that story, but I was like, you know what, I might as well. Unfortunately, it has to be this kind of situation, but I was like, let me just concentrate this video on just Sebastian. Again, I still love the guy. You know, I do hope the best for him. It's just, I think what it is with him, I really do feel like deep down there's a good guy there. I just think he's easily triggered, and for someone who's easily triggered like me, I kind of understand it. But again, like, you know, but at the same time, it's like I feel really bad for the fan. Like, that's another thing why I don't want to meet up with celebrities or anything like that. I'm afraid, like, you know, they always say be careful, meet your heroes. I always liked Sebastian since I was a teenager. Always liked them. I don't know what it was, I just always liked them. But yeah, even like in the back of my head, it was like, be careful when you meet your heroes, and that's why I don't like meeting them. So, but yeah, no, all the respect to his wife, all the respect to, like, you know, again, we weren't there. We did hear the perspective of the fan. She didn't want to be seen. I don't blame her. It's vicious out there, you know. Especially if she does have self-esteem issues, you know, because something like that, like calling somebody, rather male or female, you call them ugly in front of a public, that hurts. Like, you know, it's one thing when you call me ugly to my face, like whatever, but when you see it in a public like that, that shit hurts, you know. And that's what people were saying, well, what if she was hot? You know, you shouldn't have said that part. You should just have left the looks out, you know, just left. You shouldn't even give her that intention, you know, unless she like went up and did some kind of harassment to you. Understandable. But, you know, anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. Just talk a little bit. I just thought that was ironic. I was like, hey, I just saw him like 3 months ago or whenever, how long ago my birthday was. Anyways, salut. Hope y'all safe out there. Please stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next video.